Good morning, everyone. So, before I start my reporting about spiritual self, let me first define what is spiritual self. The definition of spiritual self care is any ritual or practice that we do to further our connections with our higher self. When you begin to practice consistent spiritual self care, you can expect to nurture your connections to yourself and the higher power to create spiritual practices that fill both your body and souls. So, the spiritual self is our subjective and most intimate self. It is the aspect of self which develops a certain level of spirituality, which is deemed as man's way of seeking, as well as experiencing the meaning and purpose of his life. It speaks of the quality of one's relationship with God, self, others, institutions, and God's entire creation marked by respect, forgiveness, generous service, and prayer. It is showing great maturity and a concern, wide refinement or high level of Christians in the higher things of life, such as sacred of the or the divine. The spirituality is specified more concretely in the deepening faith. Spirituality leads man to a deeper communion with the divine. It is a path of directions and personal connections with the divine. It's embrace all faiths, social and political ideologies. It aids persons in spiritual, emotional, or physical distress, crisis, or discomfort, as well as those seeking to make a significant change in their lives through self-awareness. Your spiritual self is you in your most beautiful and powerful form. It is a authenticate self that in unconditioned part, the you without patterns. This is a personal for each of us, so no need to get caught up on language. When you process, you get to know this part of yourself as we call it is your spiritual self. Let's proceed to visioning with your spiritual self. Let your spiritual self do the visioning and paint the pictures of your life on the right road. Remember that being begets doing, and in your visioning, let your primary focus be on imagining the qualities of being that gives you a life you love. Feel those qualities right then and there in your visioning. Embody them as if it's happening now. Reassuring belief in a greater force or being, sense of purpose and meaning, focus on your own or universal wisdom, way to understand suffering, connections with others, reminders of the good in the world. Consider some of the science and religion and spirituality. People who meditate have increased activity in a feel-good area of the brain, or people with strong religious beliefs recovered faster from the heart surgery than people with weaker faith. So now let's proceed to the spiritual path. Organized religion. Of course, spirituality isn't like medicine, just like take one dose of prayer daily. But if you are drawn to organized religions, you can get a boost from more active involvement. Join a religious institutions. People who attend a house of worship regularly are happier and healthier. Research shows that likely because of the social connections involved. It may also be because religious groups support healthy lifestyle choices like reducing smoking and drinking. Focus on your goals, values, and beliefs? What brings you hope and joy and comfort? What do you care about most? How can you make a difference in the world? Keep a journal to help you express your deepest thoughts and feelings. Read inspiring stories or essays to the unearth insight and philosophies that can enrich your life. Be open to new experiences, nurture your spirit with nature, music, arts, or whatever sounds appealing. Look at what's good in yourself and others. Notice sacreds and around you. Sure, there are plenty of bad stuff, but you'll find greater peace and joy by focusing on the positive. Pray or focus on your notion of God. You can worship from a prayer book at a specific time each day, or you can pray from your own heart when you need some solace. Uttering a prayer of gratitude may be particularly good for your mood. Sex religious texts take times to reflect on what they mean to you. Talk with others who share similar spiritual beliefs and learn from each other. Volunteer with religious group or charity. Lastly, connecting with your deepest self. With all the time we need to spend plunged in, turned in or online, it's easy to get disconnected from our inner selves. Try to find some time each day to think about who you are and what you to be in the world. Figuring or what really important to you can make daily irritant and the stresses feels like less of a burden.